Okay, so you guys may or may not have noticed that there's a lot of so-called Satanists that are out there running around calling themselves reverends or magisters, warlocks, or high priests. I got a little bit of something to say about this. The vast majority of these people, not all, but the vast majority of these people, these titles are nothing. They're self-ordained prefixes that they add to their name to make themselves appear to be more important than they really are, or to have more credibility than they really do. There's several people I can mention, but here's a rule of thumb that I go by. And again, it's just a rule of thumb. It sometimes doesn't apply. The camera does that freaky shit when I move around. Wet the whistle. You guys ever had this? Arrogant bastard. Made in San Diego. It's good stuff. And it has a picture of the devil on it. Anyway, back to the subject at hand. A rule of thumb is this. If someone calls themselves Reverend John Doe, odds are he's a pretentious, arrogant asshole who just throws that tag in there to make himself feel more important and look more important than he really is. Well, we all know, anybody can call themselves whatever they want. With Reverend specifically, to be a Reverend, you can send like 10 or 20 bucks into various so-called churches, and they will ordain you a Reverend, of course, for a small fee. Some a large fee. High priest, high priestess, sometimes these titles are given as a gesture of respect by various organizations for time spent, for knowledge gained, for actually accomplishing something and doing something in the real world. But not always. Point in case, Peter Gilmore. Peter Gilmore, the high priest of the Church of Satan, a lot of people think that, he was handpicked by Anton LaVey and groomed, to be Anton LaVey's mentor, and the next high priest of the Church of Satan. In reality, Anton LaVey never wanted Peter Gilmore to be high priest. He wanted Boyd Rice to be high priest. Boyd Rice turned it down way before Anton LaVey died. When LaVey died, Blanche Barton, Anton LaVey's lover, was in kind of a state of disarray, so was the Church of Satan. Peter Gilmore and Peggy Nadromeda, I think her last names. I can never pronounce it right, but whatever. They gave the high priest status to Peter Gilmore as a gesture of respect for all of his help. Or Blanche Barton gave it to Peter Gilmore as a gesture of respect for his help. So, did he really earn it? No. Did Anton LaVey want him to be high priest? No. And then you have other types of high priests and reverends that just simply say, "Oh, I'm a high priest. I'm a reverend." Well, again, if it's deserved, or if it's like you start your own organization or whatever, then I can kind of understand. But typically, it's just almost, in my mind, it's almost a prefix when it's self-ordained that denotes weakness. That basically means I have nothing to show. I really haven't accomplished anything, but I am a high priest of this and that. But I am a reverend. But I am Magister Frost. Whatever. Sorry, Frost, but you suck. Or Reverend John L.E. or whatever. The list is long, too long for me to actually name off all the douchebags. That's just my 2 cents. So don't be impressed with people that call themselves high priests or reverends or magisters or warlocks, because 98% of them are self-ordained. They didn't earn that, and they're not doing anything. And in fact, I would just write, as a rule of thumb, most of them off as dumbasses and douchebags, because odds are they'll be right.